Hello, this is Grandma Jan from Red Toad Art Studio, and today I'm going to play around with some pages I found in my old brides and wedding books. And when I say old, these are through 2017. I've just had these hanging around, and I've used an occasional picture from them since I started collaging. But I went through these yesterday, and I found enough pages, I don't know, for 3 or 4 collages. And I've just been waiting to make them until I got some time. And the first pages I found, let's move these, was this lovely lady. I don't know that I would exactly think of that as a wedding dress, but it's different, and it's pretty. And then I found this a few pages later that exactly matched the flowers in her hand. So then I started hunting for a background, if I could find something in the magazine that would make a background. And I thought, I don't know if there's any way to cover up this happy couple, but that would make a wonderful background for her, along with these flowers. And then I thought some of these flowers maybe at the side or hanging from the ceiling, and this somewhere at the side. I really don't know if it's going to work. But hey, let's try and see if we can make this lady into a beautiful collage from our wedding magazine. I'm going to put the collage in my book that I've been working in. Let's see. I probably should put one close to the back, and we'll put it right here. So, my background page that I thought would make a background, it's a little big, but that's good. The first thing I need to find out is if my lady here will cover up a good share of that. And I don't think she will. But maybe with those orange flowers, maybe we can put them surrounding her, and that way she will cover it up. So, to start off with, why don't I cut her out? And we'll see how she does with that background. Now, I don't mind if the veiling shows, but I don't want the people's faces to show. I almost wonder if I could cut this in two and move the sides in. Let's try that. I don't know if it will work or not, but we'll try. I wonder then about these flowers. We have some flowers here, and we have some flowers here. I think these would be good at the bottom. I'm wondering if we can do these at the top or these. Let's cut some of these out and see what we can do. And let's cut these out too. Yeah, I think that would work as a background. And then we have these flowers. So let's fussy cut these. Now this collage, lots of times on my videos, I decide ahead of time and have everything cut and inked. And this one, I've just got the pages picked out, and I really don't know what's going to work and what isn't. And I have nothing cut and nothing inked. And I'm sure you've seen that already. I'd like to know what I'm going to do in a video. But very often, these kind of collages come together a step at a time, and you really don't know how it's going to turn out or what you're going to do. You just have some images to put together, but you're not exactly sure how to make it work. Now, I need to do something about this corner. Perhaps some words. Or another image. I have a cake here that was on with these flowers. Let's see what that would look like. I don't want her dress just to have a straight line disappearing here on the bottom. Although, there we go. We can probably do something like that. Okay, so I think we need to ink these, and I won't make you watch that. I'm going to use Distress Ink Vintage Photo. Let's see what I can do about getting this to fit. We need to straighten up the edge. And to do that, we'll use this critter here. I think my blade is getting a little dull. So let's do this one first. We'll use the old stick glue for this. I think that will do the smoothest job of getting glue on the back and covering it all. It's curling. Let's see if we can get this curly piece to fit here. Okay. Let's get glue on this piece. Let's get all the wrinkles and bubbles out. There we go. Now, we need to fit her. We'll probably come over and not need to put some flowers there, I think. Let's see what we have again. And some of the netting can show on both sides. And I really didn't use everything I had, but that's okay. Let's glue these down. Let's see if that's enough. Yeah, I think so. And our bride can go right there. I think we'll ink that line a little bit. We'll kind of make it cease to exist as much as possible. There. And I think the next thing, how did we have those covering the words before? There we go. And I don't know. We'll decide about the cake later. Let's get our ink, see how much of these words we can cover. Be best if we can cover them all with those flowers, but if we don't, this won't be quite so bright. There we go, right there. Let's get her glued down. Does that look about right? I think so. I found that the magazine pages are much harder to keep wrinkle-free than the heavier book pages and the collage suit pages and stuff that's made for collage. This should go next, and this comes over it. And we just have a couple words showing there. And you know what? We might use this cake underneath to hide those words. Let's do this. Oh, that way. That'll do it. And we can make that cover. We can make that flower that I just pulled up because I had sticky fingers cover all that. So, let's get that glued down. Oops. We'll set this cake aside. We might use this in another one. Glue our last flower down. And if we place it just right, it covers all the words. This one, I think all of these pictures, if I remember right, came from one magazine. I like that challenge of doing a whole collage out of one magazine, if possible, including the background, and that's always a challenge. But I think my words will come from something different. All right. Now I need to trim this page at the bottom. Now for some words. And again, I have my Tim Holtz ideology, small talk. Let's see if we can find one that's on this white that will work. Live your dream with passion. Leave a little sparkle wherever you go. Go where your heart takes you. How about so the adventure begins? And be open to whatever comes next. So the adventure begins. Be open to whatever comes next. A little bit of shadow. And I think these need a little bit of this ink. That blends them in a little better. Okay. And there is my first Bridal Magazine collage of this year. I don't think I've made another. I made a simple one last year, and it wasn't even about a bride. But I think that is where we will quit. And I hope you will be inspired to take a magazine and make the whole collage with it. You would never know that there were other people back there on that paper, would you? And I will say, bridal magazines give you a lot of fodder to work with. Just be advised that almost all the women are in fancy clothes and the men are in tuxes, but there's a lot of flowers. And like this one, this doesn't necessarily have to be a bride, because they have also bridesmaids and all kinds of things. So I'd suggest, although they're kind of expensive, try a bridal magazine and see if you don't have fun making collages with it. In fact, I found some more pictures, and I think I'm going to do another one today. This is fun. So I will say bye-bye for now, and maybe you'll see me in my next video doing another bridal collage. Bye-bye.